The morning sun was barely peeking over the horizon in Willow Creek, a quiet suburban enclave in Colorado, on a crisp October morning in 2026. I'd just turned the key in my silver Audi when Mrs. Evelyn Harper came barreling toward me, her Bluetooth speaker clutched like a weapon, blaring her voice across the cul-de-sac. 911. I need to report a theft in progress. The man in the silver Audi is driving off with my car, stolen last night. Her words echoed, sharp and clear, waking the neighborhood like a siren. I sat there, engine humming, as curious faces popped up at windows and neighbors stepped onto their porches, drawn to the commotion like moths to a flame. Someone was about to lose big today, either their reputation or their freedom. The faint jingle of handcuffs in the distance hinted that the stakes were higher than anyone realized. My name's Ethan Carter, a 36-year-old cybersecurity consultant who moved to Willow Creek 2 years ago with my 9-year-old daughter, Lily, after my divorce from Rachel. I chose this place for its top-rated schools and peaceful vibe, hoping for a fresh start. But I quickly learned that quiet neighborhoods often hide the loudest dramas, and Evelyn Harper was the loudest of them all. As the self-appointed chair of the Homeowners Association's Standards Committee, she wielded a neon green clipboard and a tape measure like a dictator enforcing sacred laws. For weeks, wilted flowers had been left on my doorstep, and anonymous complaints about my unauthorized tech business had flooded the HOA's inbox. Lily, strapped into the back seat with her school bag, whispered, "Dad, she's at it again." Her voice cracked my heart. She was too young to deal with grown adults acting like playground bullies, and it reminded me of the fights Rachel and I used to have, the ones that sent Lily hiding in her closet. Evelyn's 911 call was a performance, amplified by her speaker for maximum effect. Neighbors gathered. Mrs. Clara Benson, the 70-year-old widow next door, peeked through her blinds, phone to her ear, no doubt gossiping with her book club. 16-year-old Noah from across the street was filming, his phone's red, signaling a live stream to his thousands of followers. Then I noticed two figures standing on the sidewalk, watching like they'd bought tickets to a show. HOA President Victor Langley and Treasurer Diane Powell, both in press suits. Odd for a Wednesday morning. Evelyn gestured to a man she introduced as Tom Reynolds, a stocky guy in his 50s wearing a suspiciously off-brand delivery uniform. "I saw this Audi leaving Evelyn's driveway at 2 a.m., he declared, his voice theatrical, like he was auditioning for a role. But his story had holes. Willow Creek's security system would have lit up like a Christmas tree if anyone was wandering at that hour, and I'd seen this Tom before, not as a delivery guy, but as Evelyn's partner, Greg Nolan, from the next subdivision. Evelyn stood there, clipboard clutched like a shield, her perfectly styled hair and designer joggers screaming privilege. Her eyes, though, held a calculating glint, like this wasn't just about a car, but something much bigger. The crowd split into factions. Victor and Diane nodded along with Evelyn, while Clara looked torn, weighing the juiciest gossip. Mr. Javier Morales, the electrician 2 houses down, muttered in Spanish, clearly unimpressed. Noah's live stream was blowing up, comments flooding his screen as his viewer count hit 1,500. I caught a glimpse of Lily's worried face in the rearview mirror and knew I had to act carefully. She didn't need more chaos in her life. Stepping out of my car, I kept my movements calm. "Evelyn," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "my Audi hasn't left the garage in 2 days." I popped the trunk and pulled out a GPS tracker, still taped to a scrap of duct tape, holding it up for the crowd. "Found this under my car this morning while checking the tires." I showed my phone's tracking app, the data clear. My car hadn't moved an inch in 48 hours. Victor scoffed. GPS can be faked by anyone with tech skills, his smugness betraying his ignorance. Evelyn, emboldened, produced a handwritten letter from her purse, claiming it was my confession to borrowing neighbors' cars. The handwriting mimicked mine, but the slant was wrong, clearly written by a right-hander. "I'm left-handed." I signed my name on the letter to prove it, the crowd murmuring as the forgery became obvious. Lily's voice broke through, small but piercing. "Mrs. Harper, Dad fixed your laptop last year when it crashed. You gave us brownies to say thanks." The crowd froze, remembering Evelyn's gratitude, now conveniently forgotten. Her smile didn't waver, though it was cold, like she was playing a deeper game. I grabbed my tablet, and opened my security footage, recorded over 3 weeks since the harassment began. The first clip showed Evelyn and Greg sneaking onto my property at midnight, planting dead flowers, and attaching the GPS tracker. Another showed Evelyn trying to open my garage with a remote device, her face lit up by my infrared cameras. The final clip, from 2:17 a.m. last night, revealed their staged theft, using headlights and flashlights to fake my car leaving her driveway. The crowd gasped, Victor's face paled, and Diane's hands trembled around her folder. Evelyn stammered, "Those videos are edited," but her confidence was crumbling. Lily, holding a paper she'd found from Evelyn's dropped clipboard, asked, "Dad, what's a blackmail letter?" The document, in Evelyn's handwriting, accused me of running an illegal business, demanding a $5,000 fine unless I cooperated. The crowd's anger surged. Clara wept, Javier cursed, and even Victor looked betrayed. Then he dropped the bombshell, pulling out architectural plans. Willow Creek's been in talks to sell to Summit Realty for $2.5 million. The crowd erupted. Clara's coffee mug shattered on her porch. Diane admitted they needed 85% homeowner approval, but were stuck at 78%, targeting problem residents like me with harassment to force sales. Noah's live stream viewers uncovered Summit Realty's address matched Victor's construction firm, exposing his conflict of interest. Evelyn, desperate, waved an envelope, claiming HOA footage showed me breaking into their office. I laughed, opening my laptop to reveal my own findings. $52,000 in fake roof repairs funneled to Victor's account, $27,000 to Greg's sham landscaping company, and $20,000 in legal fees to Diane, who wasn't a lawyer. Diane confessed, handing over documents proving $94,000 in embezzlement. Lily's question about a friend's family forced to move hit hard, tying the scheme to real suffering. FBI SUVs rolled up, Agent Laura Bennett arresting Victor and Evelyn for wire fraud and embezzlement tied to a multi-state scam. I'd tipped them off 3 weeks earlier after spotting financial irregularities. Lily confronted Evelyn, her voice steady. "Dad helps people, like he helped you." The crowd's support solidified, and as the agents drove off, neighbors apologized, Clara hugging me tightly. A week later, Willow Creek elected Clara as HOA president, with Javier and Coach Daniels in key roles. The FBI recovered $70,000, and Summit's contract was voided. Lily's scrapbook of our Willow Creek stand grew, and a text from another community hinted at more battles ahead. What would you do if your HOA tried to steal your home? Fight like Ethan or stay quiet to avoid trouble? Would you trust your neighbors to stand with you, or go it alone? Drop your thoughts below, like if this hit home, and subscribe. Exposing more HOA scams next week, and you won't believe what's coming.